Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Anthony Lee, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more about myself. I think it'll help you understand the music. I think it'll help you understand a lot of things. But I guess I could start by talking about when I was younger. I really don't like to, because it's really not all that positive. But it is a part of my story, and I feel like I can share this. It'd be cool. And yeah, so there it goes. Growing up in school, I guess I could start by saying that it was really difficult. Really, really difficult. In elementary, even then, I was getting made fun of in school a lot. This is before I even knew what the word gay meant, so that was kind of interesting. I was getting made fun of for how I talk, how I stand, how I sit, how I walk, all of that. And a lot of kids would always ask me, "Are you a girl?" and things like that. They still do kind of do that, but that was really hard, because at that point in my life, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know why I was getting made fun of or picked on. At the same time, I was dealing with being dyslexic, and that made school very hard. I wasn't really good at much. I wasn't really good at math, English, the basics. Couldn't write for jack. Couldn't spell for jack. Math is still intimidating. We learn to grow past these things. Home life really wasn't that great either. At that time, I was dealing with an abusive stepdad, and that's just really hard. That's really complicated on someone that age. I mean, I was going to school dealing with things that I didn't understand, and I was coming home to things I didn't understand. And at that age, I was just really quiet, really kept to myself. I didn't really talk much. In school, I felt that if you just sat in the back of the room and kind of disappeared, people can't really make fun of you, but they can. My mom wasn't really home much. She was working a lot. Throughout my life, she wasn't really around much, but not in a negative sense. She was always just really working hard for us, and I thank her for that. When I was younger, I started writing poetry and short stories. I feel like that was my way of expressing myself in every form. I mean, at that point in my life, I had a lot of people calling me dumb and slow, and people making fun of me at school, people making fun of me at home. Going through that was hard. I was pretty much around my older brothers. I feel like my older brother really didn't understand me, had nothing in common with me, which that made it hard, because we never really had anything to say to each other. At times in my life, I felt like he was disappointed or embarrassed of me. I always kind of felt that, and it kind of hurt. And when I was younger, I felt that if you put us in the same room for too long, I'd probably have a panic attack, because we really had nothing to talk about. We really didn't understand each other. I also spent a lot of time with my one more up, second oldest brother. Earn, but you guys know him as King Chief, and he's featured in a lot of my music. And me and him are very close. Growing up, he was mean, picked on me a lot too, bullied me. But at the end of the day, we'd sit there, and that was my best friend. He'd always apologize and, sorry, brother, you're my best friend. And he really was. He was my shield. He protected me a lot against from people that made fun of me, that didn't quite get me. He tried to tell me, like, bro, you gotta be tough. And I feel like I am tough. I feel like I had something I did get from my brothers. I'm pretty tough. Not maybe in the aspect of how many people might expect, but okay, I gotta stop just kicking that because it's making it shake. Yeah, so story of my brothers. How the music came along was my oldest brother had started a rap crew that he wouldn't let my other brother be a part of. So my other brother decided, you know what, I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna do my own thing, my own little rap, little experiment. So he went and got a cassette of, I believe it was an instrumental from a song off Boys in the Hood, and he wrote a little flow to it, and I was like, hey bro, can I sing? Can I do the chorus? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do this. And it came out really cool. That was a really proud moment in my life, to sit back and listen to this little creation that we had created. And I think for my brother, that's the first time where he was like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to be a rapper. And for me at the time, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I was still really shy. I didn't like being in front of people. I still don't really like being in front of people. My brother, on the other hand, he's another story. He loves it. Not even a week later, I would say that my mom had my brother move with my dad because they were going through some things. And that time for me was pretty horrible. That was my best friend. That was my protector. That was everything. Was gone. And that was hard. That was really hard. But I continued going to school. I would like to say that things had changed, but it didn't. I started moving around a lot, and that's hard because you feel like if you're in one area for so long, and if you allow them to make fun of you, allow them to get it out of their system, you hope eventually they'll get tired of it. And they do. But then you move to another school and you meet a whole new pack of wolves and you do it all over again. And it sucks. But yeah, so that was that. My brother was gone. I then hit high school. I was still pretty quiet, kept to myself. I just told myself, you know what? Just get through it one day at a time. You're almost done. You're almost out of here. Towards the summer of junior year, I went to go spend some time with my brother and my dad. And my brother had started something, a rap crew, Verbal Assassins. And he was starting to get studio equipment and starting to do his music thing. And around that same time, I was given a keyboard for my birthday, which that was a big something in my life. It still is a really big something in my life. I was given a Casio keyboard, and that's when I started writing my first songs, composing my first pieces that I still wasn't showing anyone, that were still very kept under lock and key. Within my senior year, I joined theater and choir. I had a really good group of friends that were almost as strange as me, and I loved it. A lot of things happened senior year. Came out of the closet. Sounds retarded. Came out. That wasn't really hard on me as much as it was for my family, because the way I seen it, I was always me. I was always me. I never really hid anything. I never really talked about it, but never really hid anything. So I didn't think it would be much of a shock. Yeah, but it was kind of a little bit. Senior year, I was in the play Beauty and the Beast, that was really big for me. Something I've never done, and I wanted to do, to prove to myself I could do it. It was also a piece of Disney, and for those of you that do know me, I am a really big fan of Disney. I think it just sends a great message, just to dream big and fight for these crazy dreams and just be you at all cost. So I hope that shows through my work. I really do. I also got my first experience with makeup. Now, it didn't start out like a gay thing to me. It started out like magic. Like, okay, now you have zits, now you don't. And to me, I was like, this is amazing. Why isn't everybody doing this? Yeah, that was my first encounter with. That was my first encounter with that. I would say after I had graduated, I moved with my brother to see what's going on with all the music and become a part of what he was creating. I also spent time with my dad, who, for those of you who don't know, I get a lot of my musical background from. My dad plays the guitar, he sings. He's taught me a lot when it comes to being a vocalist. And I was showing my dad and my brother my music for the first time, and I think I showed my brother first. I showed him some songs, and he was amazed. He was floored. It was like, whoa. I still really wasn't ready to show people yet. I showed my dad a couple songs, and my dad, he heard the potential, but he also heard how much I was holding back. And he just told me, he's like, son, this is really good music. He's like, but it just lacks feeling that I know that you have inside of you. And he encouraged me to show him more of the personal pieces that I had composed and written. And he encouraged me to show the world those pieces. He told me those are the pieces that are going to make a difference. That's how you're going to find your audience that connects with you on a more personal level. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear the things that you don't want to show. And that was probably the best advice I'd ever been given in music. Because music is a scary thing. It's letting down a wall and letting people hear a more vulnerable side, which I think, for me, I think that's what music is. It's what I turn to. It's kind of like reading pages of a diary and then making 1 million photocopies of each page and just scattering it around for everyone to see and for everyone to judge. That's what music is, though. It's a rush when that happens. But okay, so I started working with my brother, recording the first album, Songbird, which for me was a really big accomplishment in my life. That's something that I'm very, very, very proud of till this day. I was going through a lot at that time. I was homeless. Our studio had got robbed. That was very hard on my brother. He worked really hard for it, and everything that he had been working on up to that point was gone, and he had to start all over. The Songbird album is really special to me because most of those tracks were not recorded in the studio. Some of them were actually recorded off of a mini recorder that I used to carry with me, directly off my Casio keyboard, which I love. Like, I know a lot of producers and engineers really don't want that sound, but for me it was very, very personal, very raw. There wasn't really much to it except for vocals and my piano. And I still look back on that album and I'm still very proud of it. I still hear that chapter in my life. There's actually a song on there called I'll Be Alright, and that song talks about looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you'll be okay. And nobody really knows this, but that song I actually wrote in my bathroom. I didn't have a place to write my music, so I brought my keyboard into the bathroom and I put it on the counter, and I was actually looking at myself as I wrote that song, telling myself to be strong, telling myself to keep going. Eventually got kicked out of the bathroom halfway through the song, and I just took my keyboard outside and finished it. And it's one of the really special tracks on that album that I still listen to till this day, that gives me that extra boost of confidence, strength, I guess you could say. So that's that about Songbird. Now I have my second album coming out called Birth Defect, and again, I'm really proud of it. There's a lot of struggle in it, a lot of everything in it, but I hope by doing this, allowing my audience, allowing my songbirds, allowing the people that have been supporting me to get to know me on a more personal level, maybe I'll help them understand my music and where it comes from. Because every now and then I have people come up to me, and I had someone come up to me and say that things come easy to you because of the hair and the makeup and the look, and I just smiled and nodded like, sure, but really it doesn't. It really doesn't. You gotta work really hard. You go through a lot of ups and downs, but it's very fun. It's a rush. I feel like me as a whole, I want to tell people out there just to be yourself to the fullest. And for me, I feel like that's kind of contradicting, because I feel like I created this character. I created A-Lee that's so much stronger than me. And A-Lee has no fears. And A-Lee goes out there and gets on stage, and he's a rock star. And I feel that's a part of me, but it's not all of me. And I think that's okay. I really do think that's okay to create a better you, as some might call it. Ultimately it is me. It's a part of me. But I just feel like just music for me is just something, it's so much more. It's so personal, and I'm just honored to share it with you guys out there. I'm honored to let you guys in my world and be a part of it. I don't know. I think I could label myself as some things. People could label me as some things. But at the end of the day, I'm just me. I'm just me. And I hope you guys like it. And hopefully I'll be doing more things like this. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. And hopefully I'll be seeing you guys around. And I'm out.